Year 10. So today, just a minute, sorry. Today we're doing points of intersection. So we've done points of intersection before when we did simultaneous equations. So to find points of intersection of any two graphs, you solve their equations simultaneously. So that's what we're going to do here. It says find the points of intersection. They've got point with a bracket and an S after it because there might only be one point of intersection, but there may be more. Okay, so we're going to look at the first one. First one gives us y equals x squared and y equals 5x minus 6. So we're going to write their two equations down underneath each other with the equal sign in line. That one's equation 1 and the other one's equation 2. Now, I normally, when I see that they're both equal to y, I go, all right, well, if y equals x squared and y also equals 5x minus 6, then x squared must equal 5x minus 6. So I go straight into this line here. But if you want to go through the step before that, it is actually the substitution method. So in 1, we have y equals x squared. We're going to sub the y equals x squared into number 2. So here's equation 2, and in place of the y, we're writing x squared equals 5x minus 6. So that's really what I was telling you before. So if you can get straight to that line, do it. Okay, so the next thing you're doing, because it's a quadratic equation, we have to make it equal to 0. So we're moving everything over so that we have it equal to 0. We have a product of positive 6 and a sum of minus 5. So the factor pairs for 6 are 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. Now they both look like they could give you a 5. So we're going to put the signs in and see what happens. The highest is going to get the negative, so we'll do that with the highest number in both of these. And they're going to be the same sign, so if they've got a negative, the other one will be negative. Now when you look at the pairs, if they collect together, they give you minus 7, so that's not what we want. These collecting together give you minus 5, and we do want that. So that's our pair. So put your x's in your brackets and put your minus 2, minus 3 in. Equals 0, and I'm happy for you to go straight to this line now. So if that bracket equals 0, that would be x equals 2 when you solve it. And if this bracket equals 0, it will give you x equals 3 when you solve it. So what you've done so far is find the x coordinates of 2 points of intersection. We've now got to go and find their y coordinates. So when you sub those two x values into either equation, I've picked equation 1 because I think that looks simpler. We're just squaring a number. So I'm going to take my x equals 2 and put it into y equals x squared. Put the 2 in for x and you'll end up with y equals 4. If I take my other x value of x equals 3 and now put that into y equals x squared, I end up with y equals 9. So our points of intersection are 2, 4 and 3, 9. So if you had to draw a graph to show what was going on here, you started with a concave up parabola, y equals x squared, and you have a straight line with a positive gradient. So it's going to lean that way. And it's going to have 2 points of intersection because we just found those. So that's what's going on in the graph. 2, 4 and 3, 9 being your points of intersection. Okay, if we try a second question, we're looking at the parabola, concave up parabola, y equals 3x squared plus 2x plus 10, and another straight line with a negative gradient this time, y equals 12 minus 3x. So we're going to put the equations down and we're going to solve them simultaneously. Like I said before, if they're both equal to y, these things must equal each other. So I can write down 3x squared plus 2x plus 10 equals 12 minus 3x. So now it's quadratic. We can see it's a quadratic equation with the x squared. So move everything to the left-hand side and have a 0 on the right. So we have 3x squared plus 2x. Bring this over, that becomes plus 3x. Copy down your plus 10. Bring this over and it becomes minus 12. So if we collect our x's and our numbers, we have 3x squared at the beginning. This bit gives you plus 5x. And these numbers collected give you minus 2 and equals 0. So the product, multiply these, is minus 6. Our sum is positive 5. Again, we're looking at factor pairs of 6 again, so we have 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. with the same problem about this 5. So our highest has to get a plus. Give both of them the plus. The signs have to be different, so the smaller number will be negative. Now these two do collect to give you plus 5. Minus 1 plus 6 is plus 5. That's our pair. The other one, minus 2 plus 3, gives you plus 1. We don't want that. So let's set it up. We've got a 3 at the beginning of the x squared, so don't forget what to do. We put a 3x and 3x and 3 on the bottom of the fraction. Slide in our pair that we know are right now, minus 1 plus 6. And now we're going to look for common factors for our brackets. There's no common factor in the first bracket. There's a common factor of 3 in the second bracket, so take it out. You're left with x plus 2 in the bracket. And then these 3's will cancel out. So we're left with our factors being 3x minus 1, x plus 2 equals 0. In this one, we are going to take each bracket and make it equal to 0 because you will muck this up otherwise. Just be very careful. So 3x minus 1 equals 0, 3x equals 1, x equals 1/3. This one, of course, is much easier. X equals minus 2. So we have two x values, two x coordinates for our points of intersection. We are now finding the y coordinates for those points. So we're going to sub both of these, x equals 1/3 and x equals minus 2, into whichever equation you want up there. I think you can see equation 2 is much simpler. We're going into that one. So we're going to sub x equals 1/3 into equation 2, write it down, put the 3rd in for x, and that works out to be y equals 11. The second one, we're going to take our other x value of minus 2 and put it into the same equation, and you'll end up with y equals 18. So our points of intersection are 1/3 11, and the other one is minus 2 18. So we're going to come back in the next video and do a few more examples.